If you always find yourself with little to no money and you wonder where it went, I've got good news and bad news for you. The good news is I have a proven solution, and the bad news is it's called starting a budget. And honestly, budgeting isn't that bad. The hardest part is getting started, but that's what I'm going to be helping you with today. And I'm not going to spend too much time trying to convince you on the importance of budgeting. I've made videos about that in the past, but I will say this: I've been budgeting for about 13 or 14 months, and when I started, I was about $4,000 in debt. It wasn't a lot, but I was in debt. Now I've saved and invested about $45,000 or $50,000 of my money. That's worth more now, but that's what I put in, and it hasn't been that long, so budgeting works. And instead of just jumping right into the budget, which I had originally planned to do, I think it's important to just quickly talk about what budget method we're going to use and why I personally use it and recommend it. The budget that I use and recommend and that we're going to be using today is called the zero-based budget. The goal of this budget is to give every single dollar that you make a job. So every dollar you make, you have to assign it a job, because you work hard for your dollars and you should expect your dollars to work hard for you. With this budget, they will, and you will be the boss of your dollars. To make our budget, we're going to be using a website called EveryDollar.com. It's by Dave Ramsey. You can just Google it. They also have an app, but I personally like the website better, especially to get started. I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things that will really benefit you, and I know it's going to be tempting to leave the video and move on with your life, but please don't, because if you follow along and do this correctly, this can honestly change your financial situation like it has for me. So the two things you're going to want to do is grab your laptop and go to EveryDollar.com and create an account. When you first log on to the EveryDollar website, it may ask you about something called like Ramsey Plus. We're not going to use that today, just ignore that. Sorry, Dave, but we're just going to use a free version for now. You don't have to pay anything. I've been using the free version this whole time. I'm sure the Plus version has some cool perks, but I just like the free version. The second thing you're going to want to do is pull up your bank app on your phone, and you're going to want to go to your bank statement. So wherever it shows like what you've spent money on, how much you've spent, and where you spent it, and when, that's your bank statement. You know what I'm talking about. So please do those two things and actually follow along with this video if you really want to create your budget. I've talked for too long, so I'm going to jump into my laptop and we're going to get started with your budget. So this is EveryDollar.com. Your setup may look a little bit different than mine. That's okay. I'm going to go over the basics, and then you'll get an understanding of what you need to do to get yours to look either like mine, or maybe you don't want it to look like mine, but it'll be personalized for you. So I'm going to go over a few basics. So at the top, you've got the month and the year, and you click the drop down. It'll give you more months. It's not October at this time, but I don't want to mess with my other budgets. Obviously, pick whatever month you're in. You know, you can even go back to old ones once you start doing this. Another really important part of this is these white bars here. They're called groups, and so this thing that says income, investing, saving, they're going to be different for you because they give you sort of a starter template, but I'll show you how to delete those and add your own in a second, but just know they're called groups. And so if you click inside of a group, you've got items, and if you want to add a group, all you have to do is go to the bottom, and you click add group. I didn't mean to do that. If you want to add a group, just go to the bottom and click add group. Oh, and it both at the same time. Okay. And if you want to delete a group, I guess it's perfect. If you want to delete a group, just click the title and then click delete group, and then yes, delete. If you want to name it, click the title and give it a name. I've already got a bunch of groups, and so I'm going to delete this one. Like I said, yours is going to be different. We'll get to how you can personalize that in a second. I'm going to go over the income one because that is going to be the most important one, especially for your first step. So what you're going to want to do in this one is, I think they've already got paychecks on there, and if you've got any other ways that you get paid, just add them here. So like I've got paychecks because I get paid a paycheck. I've also got this credit card cash back that I like to do because I get credit card cash back every month, and I like to use that money wisely. I've also got a YouTube category here, which I don't make any money on YouTube, but manifestation, smash the like button, and then miscellaneous in case anyone gives me money. He's my only fan. I mean, if for any reason at all I get any money. And if you want to just add anything else, of course, just click add paycheck. You're gonna really want to know your income for the month that you're budgeting for. This is really important. Honestly, I thought everybody knew this, but I did a poll on my Instagram, which is @MarkTheNeil if you want to follow me for some reason. But I did a poll on my Instagram, and apparently not everyone knows how much they take home. That kind of surprised me. So if you don't know that, you're going to want to know that because you'll see right now. So we'll do an example. So let's say you make $3,000 a month. Once you add that, you'll see at the top here, it tells you how much you've got left to budget. We haven't started budgeting yet, So it says $3,000. You're gonna really wanna know this. Now that you've got your income here, I'm gonna show you how you can actually start budgeting. So there's two ways you can go about this. The first way is you can start creating groups or using the ones that they've already given you, and you can start planning. So the way you do that is, let's say you've got an investment category and you plan to put, I don't know, $500 into your Roth IRA. You can start doing that and you'll see that this number goes down. The goal is to get it to 0. And once it does, it'll say it's an EveryDollar budget or something like that. That's one way to do it, just go through the groups. But I want to recommend a second approach, which is what I personally did. And that is to wait on the plan. I know it sounds weird because earlier I said you're going to assign jobs to your dollars. But when you're first getting started, you may have no idea. You could guess. You can go ahead and take an educated guess. That wouldn't hurt. But you'll really get an idea of how much this is once you start going through your bank statement. And honestly, when I first started, I had 3. I had needs, wants, and saving/investing. Those were the 3 groups I had. It's a little different now just because I've got more experience with it, and I like seeing, like if you see on the side here, it tells you percentages. I like seeing the percentages for different things. I like knowing how much I'm investing and saving, how much I spend on needs, fun. You get the idea. You don't have to go in detail like this just yet in the beginning. You might want to later, but when you just started, honestly, you could probably just do needs, wants, saving/investing. But the best way to find out is whatever month it is. So right now it is August 16th. You would have August 2021 here, and then you would open your bank statement and go to August 1st and see the first thing you bought on August. Let's go through an example of that. So let's say you go to your bank app and it says the first thing you bought, let's say it says, oh, grocery store. That would be necessities. So let's say that was groceries. So you see August 1st, it says you bought groceries. So first you would put how much you spent. Let's say that was $50. I like to put here where I spent the money, and I like to put what it says, or pretty close to what it says on the bank app. So if it says Walmart, I like to put that. And it just makes it really easy to track because you're only probably gonna wanna do this once or twice a week, and it makes it easy to see where you left off. So let's say the example is $50 at Walmart, August 1st. And I'm gonna show you something that's pretty cool about this website. Let's say that you didn't just get groceries. Let's say you got something else, another item. You may not have items at this point, but I just wanna show you an example for when you do. So let's say you also got, I don't know, a toy at Walmart. What this lets you do is split this expense into different categories. So maybe $40 of that was groceries and your toy was $10. And it actually tells you here how much is remaining, which is cool. It lets you just split into different items and into different categories or groups, and that is really cool. Another thing you can do is click more options. I never use this thing, honestly. I guess you can put a check number, but I use this sometimes. And I like to do this just because I like knowing where everything is going. Like especially if I do a split, I do something like this. So toys, and I put whatever I got. Like let's say it was a, I don't know, Chicken Little toy. Sometimes I like doing that, especially if it's split. You don't have to do that. I just wanted to show you. And once you're done filling this out, you go to the bottom and you just track your expense. And it'll show up here. It shows up, since we only had $40 for groceries, it's only $40 there. And then our second one was in, I think it was in toys. And the other one will show up in here. And so that's all you have to do. This was just one line item on the budget. You're gonna wanna do this for every line item on your budget. It's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest, but it is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. This is the most difficult part. Once you're caught up to whatever date it is, then another thing you can do is actually go to last month and then do that. That's actually something I did, which helped kind of speed up the process of getting used to budgeting. That's something you can do. And then once you've got a couple of months or a month, then you can start going in and seeing, oh, okay, I spent $200 on groceries on average. And so you can start actually planning. The goal is to get this number here to 0, the number I just highlighted, and then it'll give you like a congratulations or something. That's really all that there is to it. I want to show you something else. If you see here on the side, it can actually tells you how much you planned on spending. If you fill this out, it'll tell you, and it'll tell you the percentage. It'll tell you how much you've spent already. So as you can see on this one, since we've planned $200, we spent $40, it's okay. It's in a black color. But for the fun category, because we didn't plan anything, we planned $0 as of right now. it's in red. And so that's a neat little feature. You can also go to see how much you've got remaining. This one, we've got $160 remaining. This one, we went over by $10, and so that's not good. But it happens. So like I said, just go through your bank statement and start doing what we just did for the groceries example. Do that for every single line item on your bank app. This is the hardest part. Actually, let me show you something. Once you've got this filled out for like whatever month you're on, and you go to the next one, you can actually start planning. It'll copy your previous month's budget. So once you get better at that, it gets a lot easier. And once you finish setting it up, it'll only be like once or twice a week that you update it. Once is probably fine. This is gonna make a huge difference to your finances. Let me know in the comments if you followed along and if you have a budget now. Also, feel free to ask me any questions. I'll do my best to answer any questions you have in the comments. And if you wanna learn more about money, I actually do that on this channel, and so make sure you watch this video.